Hello. Good to see you.
Alrighty there, boys and girls, revenants of all kinds. Thank you for coming back today. Today is not the road to 100. Today will be more of a kind of a special topics type of a thing. As you can see from the title, this is called the Coppertop's Caster, and Coppertop was good enough for Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne, so it's good enough for me. So we'll make sure that it does him justice here. So the entire thing of the channel here has been the whole mantra of the channel is to take Code Vein to the absolute limits of what you can possibly do. Well, I've taken it pretty far in the solo arena, and I've started. Well, I mean, I have had a lot of partner builds, but since I don't actually have a partner here in Vein on PC that I can sync up with in the weekends and different things, and during the week, who actually has all the gifts and everything that are necessary to make everything work. I haven't quite found that one kindred spirit yet, so I hope this can shed some light for those who are playing PS4 or on PC in different parts of the world and things. I hope it can kind of give folks a good idea of how crazy and overpowered this game can actually get if the two people who are co-oping can actually coordinate their efforts. So I will say this, that the Coppertop's caster will absolutely not work very well if you can't talk with your partner. It's going to work best if you can talk with them, so you can sync up when to use zero recast when it's necessary, and so on and so forth. So we'll walk through everything here on how it works and what's going to happen. But basically, what it means is that one person is a battery, recovering all kinds of Ichor over and over and over and over at extremely high rates, and the other person is simply sitting back casting gifts constantly. They don't ever attack anything, they don't ever get close to the action, they just sit back and cast gifts, literally out of the action altogether at range, supporting the Coppertop. So the Coppertop will be the person who's regenerating the Ichor, and the caster will be the person who's in the background casting their gifts. So I'll refer to them by those names from here on out. So there will be an order to how the zero recast will be put forward. So the order goes that the caster, the person in the back, the caster uses their gifts first. Then they tell Coppertop that, hey, I need a zero recast. Then Coppertop will go ahead and cast a zero recast. I can't do it right now because I don't have a partner. So let's head over to an area where I have a partner. So then the Coppertop will use zero recast, which will reset the cooldowns for the caster. Then the caster will cast again, all the while the Coppertop is attacking, recovering Ichor. The caster will cast his gifts. He will then cast a zero recast, which will then reset everything for the Coppertop. Then the Coppertop will continue attacking, and then it will the Coppertop will use zero recast again.
Are you sure
and
you
then
have everything?
Yes, Eva. And then the caster will cast their gifts again, and then zero recast, and then the Coppertop will use zero recast again, and then they will continue that cycle of caster gifting, zero recast, then the Coppertop
Something bothering you?
using zero recast, and then the caster gifting again, using zero recast, and so it continues in that cycle. Now there's two partners you can use for those of you who have access to White Mia. She will be your second option to run this setup, run this build. So if you have White Mia, I would recommend her over and above anybody
Glad
else
to be together.
at the moment, even Eva, but Eva's still best girl, so don't forget that. You can use White Mia, she will be very useful. Or you can use Eva if you don't have White Mia. Eva works just as well. The reason being is that White Mia from Blood Awakening here will reduce the cost of all your gifts by 2, which is roughly between a 20 to 50% reduction in Ichor capacity, or Ichor cost. But you won't have as high of a drain rating on your weapon here. You only will get to about 3.7.
Are you sure you have everything?
Eva. You'll only get to about 3.72 on your drain rating or so, so you'll only be recovering about 6.5 Ichor on a strike, possibly up to 9 or 12, depending on the attack pattern that you take. So you will be recovering roughly around 7 to 8 Ichor a hit. So you'll be able to cast everything. If you run Eva, you will have an increase of 2 Ichor to every gift, which is about the same opposite direction, about 20 to 50% increase in Ichor usage. However, it will increase your gift or your drain rating on your weapon 50%. So you will be covered on all ends. So instead of getting 6 or 7 on a strike, you'll be getting about 11 or 12, with possibilities up into the 20 and 30 range, depending on how nuts you go with the setup here. So it's important to keep that in mind. So if you don't have White Mia, definitely go for Eva. All right, need to keep my throat lubricated here. Okay, okay, let's go through the builds now. So the Coppertop build uses the Brionac to recover Ichor, uses the Ruinous Chevalier to have a very high dark rating, while at the same time having very, very, very good defenses, and at the same time being under the 100-pound mark, so you still have normal mobility without sacrificing anything. So then these will be your passives, the most important being weapon drain rating up, as this is additive here at the beginning, but after Ephemeral Refrain it becomes multiplicative and it increases even more than just 0.2 to your weapon drain rating, so it's important to have that one. Then these 3 passives, everything here is very DLC dependent, so if you don't have DLC 1 through 3, this isn't going to work for you. So then Vitality and Willpower up, this is from DLC 3. 2, from DLC 2, right? It was from Weimer, yeah, so from DLC 2, there we go. And then these 2 are just from regular base game. Ichor Resonance Sen, this is from No. Oh, it's from Asclepius. So if you have Asclepius, you're going to need all 3 of these gifts here. So that's DLC 1, and you need DLC 2, and then we will need Dex and Mind up from DLC 3. We will need, let's see here, we need, let's see. Oh, okay. So those are what you need from the DLCs, and then the rest of this is standard play, standard code vein. So that is for the Coppertop and how they are going to recover Ichor. So here, if we go ahead and look at our drain rating, we attempted this with a Revenant a couple months ago, but it didn't work out too well because nobody knew what was going on. I wasn't communicating it very well, and it was kind of a joke. But now it can actually be formalized. Okay, so here you will see that we're up to a 6.22, which if we just run in here to the butterfly fight and I do a running attack. Okay, we recovered 16 Ichor in 1 strike. And so the idea is that because of Ichor Resonance Send, all of that 16 Ichor goes to your caster. And so since the caster will need extreme amounts of Ichor, that will be a very, very great way to get them Ichor very, very quickly because of Ichor Resonance Send. And again, you can repeat all this with Mia. Nothing's different there. Okay, so that's basically the entire intent here of the Coppertop, is to simply just recover as much as much Ichor as possible, and it's best if the Coppertop is the host, because they will need access to something like Ephemeral Refrain, like the AI's communal gift here, in order to keep that Ichor regeneration very, very high. But in the event that you don't want to do that, you still have a really good option here. So we're down to 1 Ichor. Whoops. And if we go for Drain Activator now, we are up to 4.12, so you can see that we're missing out 50% there, basically. So if we run in, we get 19. So we're that would still be very good for the for your friend, for the caster, so that way they can still recover a whole lot of Ichor very, very quickly. Okay, so as the Coppertop is in the fight, they just constantly slash the enemy, and they will have such a high Ichor recovery. The caster won't be able to keep up with the amount of Ichor coming in, which is what you want. And so if we go for the caster now, you will want the Weimer Blood Code. You will switch your Blood Veil from the Ruinous Chevalier from DLC 1, this is from DLC 1 as well, to the Sub-Zero Shroud Intensified, which is from DLC 2, and the Lightning Brionac is from DLC 3. So again, this is very DLC heavy, so sorry about that, but this is just an overwhelming broken system here in the game. Okay, so for the caster, you'll notice that we have Purging Thorn from Queen Blood Code, Hoarfrost Stream from Weimer, and then Rage of Perkunas. Now you can use any one of the big nukes here, or any other very, very high Ichor consumption gift. Something like Homing Hellfire might be nice. Meteor Crush, this is not used a whole lot, but this would give it great potential to use. Something like that. You could go for Draconic Stake, or really any of these big, long, slow cooldown type gifts. You can go for those. You can see here this one's 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds on the big nukes here. So yeah, those are huge delays in sitting around waiting. Something like Frost Turret, this would be a good one as well. You could get lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Frost Turrets on the field. This probably wouldn't be fair after you get about 12 of these on the field. And because your Ichor casting will happen so fast, if you play in normal mode, this will absolutely decimate everything and anything. It won't even be fun, really. I mean, if you want to be so overwhelmingly powerful, then this is what you want to do. Okay, so let's head over to the training area. So the caster now. So we went through the battery of Ichor recovery. So now, how do you go about casting this? Well, literally, you just push buttons and things disappear. But one thing's important is that you never use your weapon as the caster. Just don't ever do it because of Merciless Reaper. Most of the time, it gets you about a 25% increase to your damage, or a reduction in the enemy's defenses is what the card says, but we'll see here in a second that for this guy particularly, it's a 25% reduction in his defenses. So here the idea is to, if Eva is indeed the AI NPC that your host, the Coppertop, brings along, you will get a gift accelerator from her. You have one here in your bar that you can use as a consumable. You have gift prowess, and you have increased gift speed. So you should have 4 of these active most of the time, if not 3 of them at least. Okay, and so once that happens, because we have such a very, very high dark value of 1854, which then goes up even more, to 1923, which is extremely high. You'll notice that if we use something like Rage of Perkunas, we get about 16,000. So about 25% of that would be around about 4,000-ish or so. So then if we use Merciless Reaper, and there we're hitting 20,000, which is indeed 25% increase. And for Hoarfrost Stream, here we go, 7,800. Okay, so 7,800, and you get about, what is that, about 2,500, or about 2,000. You get about 2,000 out of that, so there should be around 10,000. Okay, 99.94, okay, and then Purging Thorn. What's the damage on this? So 21,000, so we should be hitting around 20, let's see, about 5,000 more, 5,500, so about 26, 27,000 more out of Purging Thorn. There we go, so indeed around 27,000. Okay, so those are the gifts that you have access to with very, 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 very long delays and cooldowns. So how it would kind of go would be that you would use this one, you use this one, and then use Purging Thorn, and then as the Coppertop is in the fight, recovering Ichor, all of your Ichor is coming back to you during the recovery process there. So that'll help you cast all 3 gifts and then hit a 0 recast. Then because the caster because the Coppertop hasn't used 0 recast yet, they will use theirs. It will replenish your cooldowns, and you can continue sending out those big 3 gifts, and then always end your string of 3 gifts or whatever you want with 0 recast, to make sure that the Coppertop has access to applying another 0 recast for you, so that way you're able to continue applying the gifts back to back to back to back. Okay, so if you kind of get an idea here, we'll kind of showcase it here with Eva. It's not a very good showing, but it at least gives you the idea of how Ichor receive happens. So Eva killed that guy, and let's go get some dogs coming here. There we go. So Eva will fight these guys, and you can see that she's gonna continue to recover our Ichor there. You can see that we've recovered 1.5 already. We recovered another one. We're up to 14. Okay, so this is the idea of how it will happen, is that Eva will, or your Coppertop will continue to recover lots and lots and lots of Ichor for you. You can see there Eva getting us some Ichor there. Very nice. Alright, so anyways, you can see that you do indeed recover it. Now, Ichor Resonance Receive is only good in the event that the Ichor Resonance Send from the Coppertop has ended. Where's Ishtar? So you can see here that we have Ichor Resonance Send, and on Weimer we have Ichor Resonance Receive. So these need to be used opposite each other to increase the length of time that the caster on Weimer can pull in that Ichor, so that way they always have a fresh, nice flow. So as Ichor Resonance Receives ends, then the Coppertop would use Ichor Resonance Send. Then when that ends, then the caster then would use Ichor Resonance Receive, and vice versa. They would alternate off of each other. This is why when I started the video I said that you definitely need to be talking to each other, because if you're just kind of hoping for the best, it's definitely not going to work, because there's a lot of coordination that needs to go on. But if you're talking to each other, it'll be easy peasy, so simple. You just say, like, I need a send, or I need a receive, or whatever, however you want to go about it. But if you have that kindred spirit and you happen to be so lucky, this would definitely be a great double code, double gifting setup here to kind of just run over all the enemies in the game, basically. And so, like I said, if you had this one, at least one of them being Frost Turret, somebody could be continually resetting Frost Turret for you, and you could be putting, like, I don't even know how many hundreds of these things out there. As same as Homing Hellfire, you could do like these two, because they have pretty long cooldowns at 10 seconds, and Frost Turret's 20 seconds. So you could do something like that with, I don't know, Meteor Crush or something weird, or even Hoarfrost Stream, or something like this. You could use a whole bunch of items like that to be able to get some of those big casts out there. So it depends on your enemy. So if you need Ice Crush, Frost Turret would be great. If you need Crush Fire, Homing Hellfire would be nice. Rage of Perkunas, you know, and any of these guys, any of these big ones here would be really good. This would be really such a joke versus the Despot, since he's weak to blood. And Purging Thorn is a blood pierce, so you would be able to wreck him in probably, you could probably get it down to a 10-second fight, I would imagine, if you coordinated correctly, with just some casts here. And the thing is that the Brionac, since it has such an immense amount of Ichor recovery, the thing just makes for the best overall weapon to recover Ichor with for the Coppertop. So definitely want to look into that. So I wish I could show you the full set in its glory, but you know, like I said, I just don't have a second co-op partner to actually put that together. But if anybody's watching and you do have a co-op partner friend that you can play with, and you both are pretty far along in the game, and you both have the DLCs and all this and that, you can definitely go for this, and make sure everybody kind of knows which build they're going to be running. So here's again where's there we go, the Ruinous Chevalier. So this is the Coppertop build, the battery, the recharger. This person will have to always be paying attention to when the caster is calling out to them saying, I need a 0 recast, and then they need to make sure that they use it. And always the caster goes first to use, the Coppertop always goes first to use 0 recast, because they aren't gifting, so it doesn't matter when they need it, it matters when the caster needs it. So then the Coppertop here would use 0 recast again, then the caster would have all their things refreshed, all their gifts refreshed, and then they would cast again. They would use their 0 recast back to the Coppertop to replenish this 0 recast and anything else that may have fallen off here. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, and hope somebody out there can get some really good use out of it. I look forward to maybe seeing some folks do some cool adventuring with this, or some bossing with this, and getting creative on the caster side of things here with Weimer to replace these 3 gifts here, 1, 2, 3, and to see what you guys come up with. So anyways, this has been me, and we'll be back on the road to 100 tomorrow. But as far as special, unique, strange builds go, you don't get much more crazy than this, of an infinite loop of 0 recast and Ichor recovery, from one person being very focused on Ichor recovery, and one person being very focused on casting gifts over and over and over and over and over. And I recommend, if you're going to try this, if you don't have a mic, definitely go get a mic and talk to your friends to make sure that everybody's on track, so they know exactly what's going on and what's happening, because if you're not synced up, it's going to fall apart pretty quick. So anyways, that's been me, and we'll see you all next time. Have a good one.